Good morning, Sun and Fun. To make a long story short, what you're about to see is experimental. We haven't done this way before. We're using new gear, new technologies, and a lot of crazy ideas, especially since for the last 48 hours we've been stomping out bugs and trying new things and so forth and so on. But then again, that's what Sun and Fun is all about. You see a lot of experimental here, and you're going to see a lot of experimental via video. We want to thank you all for joining us for the first of our morning brief series. We've got a lot to talk to you about today, and more important, a lot to bring you up to date on what's going to be happening at Sun and Fun 2022. This particular show today is brought to you by the folks at Aero, who have a pretty interesting announcement in just a little bit over an hour. Be sure to catch Airborne tonight. You're going to like it. For those of you around the field, weather forecast is simple right now. We're looking at partly cloudy skies, a stray shower, thunderstorm or two possible. High of 89, winds out of the south at 10 to 20. But let's talk a little bit about the preparation that goes into Sun and Fun. You just don't pull up and your booth's all ready to go and everything looks good and people are bright and smiling and shining and this, that, and the other. The people, products, and planes from all over the country are assembling even as we speak. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock, they're supposed to be ready, but who is? But let's take a quick look at what it takes to set up Sun and Fun 2022. Well, there you go. That was a little bit of video coolness. I want to thank the folks who are manning the video team right now. Annie Byers, Nathan Cremasino. We've got a number of other people who will be joining us throughout the week. We got possibly the best video team we've ever had here. We've got a bunch of newbies that have already proven themselves. Some great folks. Just before we get ready to talk to the new Grand Poobah of Sun and Fun, let's take a quick short break to check in with the wonderful folks who pay our bills, keep ANN's family fed. Yep, we got sponsors.
TL Sport Aircraft is changing the way you fly for sport, business, and adventure. We manufacture aircraft that bring a new level of excitement and safety to sport aviation. With 5 models to choose from, we have the right airframe to fit your mission. High wing or low wing, side by side or tandem seating. TL Sport Aircraft is redefining sport aviation. Explore what we have to offer and let us open your eyes to the possibilities at tlsportaircraft.com.
The E1000GX is the most powerful single-engine airplane that a pilot can get their hands on today.
E1000GX takes what was already a great airplane and makes it even better. With the addition of the Hartzell 5-blade composite propeller and the Garmin GFC 700 autopilot, we've really helped to simplify the pilot operations.
It's so easy to fly and so smooth. It gives an airline ride to your passengers.
And we're back. Now that we paid the bills, let's have some fun. We got this call, it's been several months now, when Lights Leanhouse, who's of course been the boss at Sun & Fun for a number of years, finally decided, well, I'm going to have some fun now. I'm tired of working for a living. And this is a guy who came out of the Navy, so, you know, what can you do? But to make a long story short, media concerns. I mean, who do you get to replace a guy like Lights? He's been pretty revolutionary here. He's done a lot with both the location as well as the event, and frankly built out the whole Sun & Fun complex in ways that nobody really would have imagined a few years ago. And then I get a call finally several weeks ago from Lights saying, okay, here's the guy, Gene Conrad. Made my day. We've known Gene for a while. He's done a phenomenal job with Lakeland. The airport here is not what it was before you got here, and that's a good thing. Yep. And to make a long story short, Gene Conrad, welcome to the Morning Brief.
Hey Jim, thank you, and welcome everybody to the 48th Annual Sun & Fun Aerospace Expo, and we're looking forward to a great week. And you know, I've been here, it'll be a month on April 7th. I don't even know what day it is today, it's the 5th. But in 2 days, you know, I would have been here a month, and you know, it's been eye-opening. You know, you think you know a lot, being the airport director here at Lakeland Linder International Airport for 12 years, and then come over here to Sun & Fun, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot and a lot more to learn.
Where the magic happens.
Where the magic happens. We're the start of the season every year, and we look forward to, again, having a great week. And I will tell you, one of the biggest things that impressed me over the last month is obviously talking to the Sun & Fun team here. Really, I've had an opportunity to really take my time and talk. You know, because Lights is still in charge. So Lights will be here through Sunday, and I'll take over on Monday. But it's just getting to talk to the folks, and especially the volunteers, the early birds, you know, the folks that have just come in to set up and get everything going, you know, here for the flying. But it is impressive. You know, I thought I knew, but I didn't know. And all the hard work and the blood, sweat, and the tears and the passion and the dedication of the volunteers, it is completely unbelievable. You know, because I'm back in the campgrounds and I'm all over the place and, you know, talking to folks and looking around, and it is a phenomenal thing. Just to go from where we were a month ago to where we are today, and with all the exhibitors here and everybody flying in, it is just completely amazing, and people are awesome. They're just awesome here.
Well, one thing that Lights left in is you've got a crackerjack staff. One of the things that I've enjoyed since we took over the daily project is we've got to know Sun & Fun a lot more than we ever have. And to make a long story short, we're impressed, and we don't impress easily, as you know. Matter of fact, when we can throw rocks, we sure do, and our buns off.
Yep. You know, and that's the thing. You know, again, a dedicated, passionate staff that work tirelessly. I mean, Bonnie Perkins, who runs all the exhibits and is our manager for all of that. You know, she's been here since Sun & Fun day one. Right now, she's been in different capacities moving forward, but it's unbelievable. Laura Vaughn, who's the chairman of the event and handles unbelievable amount of phone calls. Obviously, I've heard up in the office, and does a great job with her team and the volunteers that that help her. And Tim Wells that handles all the site and works with the early birds to get the site ready and keep it going year round too, because it's 170 acres of attention that needs to be taken care of every single year. So it's impressive.
At this point, what does it look like for you on day one? The day you get the reins of the whole thing, what's the first thing you want to do?
Well, I think the first thing is just to, obviously Lights has been here for a decade now, or however long it's been, and he's done tremendous things here, but really just to provide stability for folks. If some people, if you know my background, I was born in Oshkosh. My dad ran the airport there when I was a kid, grew up around EAA, volunteered there for the last 34 years, ran the airport here, for 12. But it's really to, stabilize, make sure, we're going to be good, but we've got a lot of work to do as well. There's a lot, I need to get up to speed. We need to start planning for the 49th annual, which is coming up, in a year from now, and really start planning much earlier, but also looking at the event for the next 50 years as well, because the airport's going to morph and things are going to happen here over time, and we need to be prepared and ready for that, and that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of work to get there. And, it's to continue on, too, with what Lights has built along with the board here and all the volunteers and all the passionate folks that are involved, to continue on with that mission, to engage and educate and accelerate the next generation of aviation professionals. So there's a lot to do and a lot to continue on with.
One of the things that a lot of people really don't realize is that there is more to this than a fly-in. There's more to this than the Expo. There's more to this than a big show. That the Sun and Fun organization has adopted immense responsibilities in building a next generation for aviation in terms of educational outreach, STEM, and so forth. It's really quite extraordinary, and I don't think the aviation public is fully aware yet of just all that's happening here, and more important, all that's going to happen.
That's correct. So, the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo is our fundraiser for ACE, and ACE is the Aerospace Center for Excellence, so that's the parent company, and Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo is part of that. But this event is the fundraiser to help us generate the revenues for us to carry on with our mission on a year-round basis, and to go out there, and whether it's Polk County or it's in the state, and to help other entities and organizations like ourselves, to educate and get the youth engaged, because we have a pilot shortage. We have a mechanic shortage. We need air traffic controllers. We need people involved in aviation, and that's our mission, to instill and get those kids, instead of doing this and looking down their phones, to get their heads up and looking, but also to communicate clearly to them that so they know all the opportunities that exist for them with our scholarship programs here, our A&P programs, our Central Florida Aerospace Academy, the Lakeland Aero Club. I mean, the pun, sky's just the limit.
On top of it, a business incubator.
And the business incubator, I think it's tomorrow. I believe it is. I've got a lot going on, but I believe it's tomorrow. We have Elevate, which is our aerospace and logistics incubator that we're starting right here on the campus, actually right over here over my left shoulder. And, that's really the next step for us as well, because, you've got the kids coming out of the high school. They go to Polk State College Aerospace to continue on with their ratings, get their degree. But then we've got kids that maybe just want to start a business earlier, or, obviously Lakeland in this Central Florida region is known for logistics, and we're going to have an incubator right here on the airport, right here on the campus, to help those folks to create the next, who knows, Amazon. You never know.
That sounds exciting, but then again, you got a bit of a start in that regard here. Prime Air has been here now for a while. Lakeland is really Lakeland Airport is much bigger than it was just a few years ago, and you brought that about. Can we expect similarly revolutionary developments for Sun and Fun and the Sun and Fun process?
Sure. I think, as the airport continues to grow. So when I got here, 12 years ago, the airport had about 800 people working on it. There's now over 3,000. The economic impact of the airport then was 167 million. It's now over $1 billion. This event and what we do is ACE and Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo generates about 200 million annually in economic impact. But there's going to be a lot of planning that we need to do, because some of the facilities here over time, now we're talking 8 to 10 years before, a new runway potentially comes in and things like that. But we're going to have to do our own master plan to shift the site. But when I was over at the airport, we were very purposeful in our planning to make sure everything here on the side we're protecting. We're not going to develop, because this event is extremely important. And, the whole reason I came to Lakeland and to run the airport to begin with is because of my upbringing and the fact that Sun and Fun was here. That was it. It wasn't because of the airport. It was the fact that Sun and Fun was here. So I did my time over there, and now it's time for my efforts to be placed over here and work with the great team and volunteers here to set it up for the next 50 years.
I thought it was because you didn't want to find real work.
Well, people ask me, like, what do? Do you have hobbies? You know, have boats? And I was like, I run the airport. I'm married. Well, I'm married, but I'm also married to my job, which probably doesn't make my wife happy so much sometimes. But, you know, this is my passion. This is what I do. And, you know, we're not perfect, but we put in perfect effort. And we're going to do some great things here.
I have no doubt. Last question. Message you want to send to the folks visiting Sun and Fun, the Sun and Fun community itself, Lakeland proper, about what to expect from Gene Conrad?
Well, that's a big question.
We always do the big laugh.
Yeah, I know that one's loaded. You know, I would just say, you know, I am super dedicated and passionate to aviation and what I do. You know, and I look forward to bringing the energy that I've had at the airport for the last 12 years and continuing on with this great team here. You know, really take it to Sun and Fun and the Aerospace Expo and ACE to the next level. And, you know, I'm just one piece of a lot of folks that are involved in all this. You know, I always say this at the airport, you know, I was the face, everybody got to see me and I got to do things like this, but there's a gigantic team, whether it was there or now here behind me, that are making it all happen. You know, I'm all about, you know, putting the team out there first, and, you know, and it's about providing the resources. My job is to go out there, and they say they need this. It's my job to go find it and produce it so they can go out there and execute.
We can't wait to see what you do with it, Gene. We're enthused that you got the nod, and more important, just really looking forward to working with you and causing you a little bit of trouble here and there.
No problem. And hey, I appreciate you and your team and you all, you know, stepping up this year and really stepping out to help us get this done with the Sun and Fun Daily. It's a lot of work by you and your team, and we truly appreciate it. So thank you very much.
And again, it's because none of us really wanted to find honest work.
There you go.
Folks, Gene Conrad, the Grand Poobah, the leader, his honor, the guy who's going to be running Sun and Fun as soon as they figure a way to get lights out the door, probably kicking, screaming, dragging his fingers through the ground. We shall see. Tell you what, folks, we got a really interesting little feature coming up. Yesterday, I had a chance to speak to Thunderbird number 1, Lieutenant Colonel Justin Elliott, and Thunderbird number 3, Major Lauren Schlichting. Both phenomenal examples of the Air Force I've loved all my life and was a part of for too short a time. I'm so proud that these people are part of us, that they're here at Sun and Fun. And despite this Navy bias they've had in the past, it is about time we've seen the Thunderbirds take their proper position here after 6 years. I mean, let's face it, it's an Air Force town. It's got to be. So let's take a look at what Thunderbird 1 and Thunderbird 3 have to say. Thank you.
I think the 16 is going to hold for a while. The F-16 is going to be a frontline fighter for the Air Force, right now planned well into the 2040s. And as long as it is a frontline fighter for the Air Force, it makes a perfect demonstrator for this team. Very maneuverable, very powerful, easy to get out of tough situations, and a great platform all around, and does represent the Air Force very well.
What drew me to the Air Force was flying fighter jets. So when I was little, astronauts came to my school, and the fact that they were astronauts didn't really settle, but the fact that they were fighter pilots did.
I had no idea the U.S. Air Force was a real thing that you could actually join, you know, without having a background and a military history in the family and all that stuff. So I was just very glad for some early influences in my life, like my grandfather, who said, hey, it's real, just go for it. And I jumped into ROTC, and here we are. So I would say just go for it. It's real and it is amazing.
I don't know if there's anything in the world that you can't do if you put your mind to it and surround yourself with people that keep you honest along the way. We fly for each other, and we never really fly for ourselves, and we always chase the goal to get a little bit better, a little bit closer. And I think everyone can relate to that, just chasing that dream and just trying to be the best you can be at whatever your skill is.
If we can unite people around a beacon of excellence, but not just a beacon of excellence, you know, that's a uniting force, but a beacon of excellence that's in the name of service to something bigger than ourselves, then we've succeeded. You know, not everyone that we encounter is going to be able to join the military. You know, that takes a lot of luck and timing, right? We all know that. But everyone we do encounter can choose to see our example and give the best version of themselves possible in the name of something bigger than themselves. And if we can do that, then what a great country this would be.
And we're back again. Well, folks, I'll tell you what, if you can't be proud of the Thunderbirds, what can you be proud of? And they have been extraordinary examples to the nation as well as the world. Let's face it, it's nice to have examples like that to look up to. All right, we've got a jam-packed air show scheduled for today. U.S. SOCOM Para Commando. Kyle Fowler. We've got Tom Richard is coming. And then, of course, Ken Ryder and Adam Baker. The Aeroshell aerobatic team is coming up as well. It's been an interesting day already. At 8 a.m., Lights gave his last official morning briefing over at the old media building. Piper is doing a media breakfast literally as we speak, talking about all things Piper. And at 10 o'clock, we're going to see a new TBM for 2022. I think all I can say about it right now. Otherwise, the folks at Dyer will shoot me. To make a long story short, that's it for like I said, this is very experimental. It's not been a perfect process getting here, but we sure appreciate all the people who've worked so hard to get us to this point. We will be back tomorrow at 0900 Eastern Time. We look forward to seeing you. www.airborne-live.net. And of course, SNFDD.com for all the news from Sun and Fun, the digital daily. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks much. Bye.
Whether you're charting a steady course or pushing for the ceiling, Hartzell Propeller has been elevating flight for over 100 years. It's in our passion for engineering and research. It's in our dedication to testing the limits of performance and creating propellers that are as safe as they are sexy. Now, together with our dedicated family of companies, we're propelling the future of aviation. We are Hartzell Propeller, built on honor.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
We're especially happy to say that we're getting ready to go to Sun and Fun.
And to help even more people celebrate Sun and Fun and the spring flying season, we're having our biggest sale ever. 22% off all King Schools courses.
We look forward to seeing you at Sun and Fun and at the airport.
Throughout the globe, Piper Aircraft has hand-selected the very best in company representation, service, and support. From first inquiry to acquisition to product support, Piper Aircraft ownership is seamless and worry-free. Piper Aircraft authorized dealers, factory trained, factory connected.